Hello, Recapped Mystery here. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy, crime, action film, 22 Jump Street. Watch out and take care. Schmidt and Jenko, best buddies, are on a rooftop parking lot. They obtain information about an unlawful transaction taking place at Metro Harbor. They're back on the street after their last successful undercover operation. They arrive at the port after arming themselves and messing around. They come across Ghost, Metro City's largest illegal commodities trafficker who has joined forces with the Mexican cartel. Schmidt advises Jenko that they will have to improvise, which makes Jenko nervous. He settles into his role. Schmidt introduces himself to the Wolverine-like man while giving him some nonsense about why they're there. He wonders why his buddy isn't speaking up, so he introduces himself. "My name is Jeff." Schmidt requests that Jenko tell the group a detailed story about how he knows them. Jenko despises his partner at the time. The group is obviously not amused. Ghost approaches them as if he knows what they're up to, but his aim is for them to inspect the stuff and shut talking. They still have no idea what the things are. When they open the container, an octopus pounces on Schmidt. Ghost is smuggling unusual creatures. They manage to shake the octopus off, but in the confusion, they lose their accent. The group realizes they are cops and decides to take them out. Ghost climbs into the truck, and the Wolverine takes off. He runs over their car, which enrages Jenko, so they climb on top of the container, Schmidt immediately stumbling and falling over. Jenko, like a Terminator, grabs the horn and begins beating on the windscreen. Schmidt eventually makes it to the top, but he collides with a steel beam. He and Jenko are abandoned. Their boss chastises them in the department for allowing Ghost to escape. They are returned to the Jump Street department. The Koreans have repurchased their church and are now located at 22 Jump Street, a larger church. Dixon, their captain, has an office that resembles a large ice cube. At McState College, they are given a new objective, and a new drug called Wi-Fi, short for work hard, yes, play hard, yes, is circulating the campus. A girl overdosed on it, and their mission is to infiltrate the dealer and track out the supplier. As a hint, they are handed a photograph. The pair arrives at their dorm and sets up everything necessary to appear to be fresh out of high school. The neighbors across the street are twins, and the pair introduces themselves as brothers. But the neighbors laugh. Schmidt attempts to seek a tip from a fellow student about where he can discover any Wi-Fi in Psychology 101. The student immediately calls him out for being a narc and even quips that he still wears his badge, which Schmidt checks, verifying the student's argument. Jenko's ignorance also prevents him from obtaining information from some football jocks. Later at the improv event, Schmidt points out to Jenko a girl he likes from one of his classes and urges him to approach her, which he does awkwardly. He inquires about Wi-Fi's overdose on campus and informs her that he is creating a slam poem in her honor. When the performer asks if anyone else wants to perform, the girl nods to Schmidt, who recites his poetry. Jenko is giggling uncontrollably. Schmidt claims it's still a work in progress as everyone looks at him blankly. He begins spewing forth random phrases and replicating the movements of the sentences. Everything's remarkable how horrible everything is, but people still sympathize and applaud him. Later, as they head to their room, Schmidt admits that he has no leads. However, Jenko claims that he heard that you can obtain Wi-Fi everywhere on campus 24/7. Yes, they were referring to the internet. So, with no leads, they go to a supplier they previously busted. They wonder how they will acquire leads in college when no one will talk to them because they seem like narcs and college students are not as stupid as high school students. He points out that the clue is in the picture. The dealer has a bazooka tattoo. After emulating Schmidt's statements, they go to a tattoo parlor, and the artist mentions that it's a football player, and Jenko has an idea who it could be. They infiltrate the football team's practice as players, where dumb meets someone even dumber, and Jenko befriends Zook. In the middle of the game, Zook refers to Jenko as his brother and praises his performance. Schmidt is instantly envious that Jenko has gained a new friend. Zook invites Jenko to a frat party and informs Schmidt he is welcome to accompany him. Schmidt advises him to lose the puka as they prepare, but Zook has the same one at the party. Jenko and him are on the same wavelength. Even Rooster likes his style, whereas Schmidt does not. Schmidt is an outsider at the party. He gets to converse with Rooster about his body art. But while shaking his hand, he touches up his sleeve, making the interaction weird. Schmidt returns to Jenko, who abandons him. Zook instructs them to have a look at the view from the roof. Two jocks breeze through with some Parker, while Schmidt struggles and decides to return home. He runs into Maya, the girl from the improv concert. On his way there, they hit it off immediately away, talking about their studies and the artwork in front of them that resembles testicles. He accepts Maya's invitation to hang out in the art building. Schmidt engages in art with Maya as Jenko gets intoxicated with his new best friend. Jenko eventually appears on the football pitch alongside Zook and Rooster. When Rooster removes his shirt, Jenko observes his tattoo and realizes he is not their guy. Zook reveals that he has never met anyone like Jenko and feels they are soulmates after Rooster knocks himself out. He invites Jenko to join the football team, and he gladly accepts. When he observes Zook's tattoo, Bazooka, which rhymes with his name, he realizes he's the dealer. Schmidt and Maya awaken after a long night's sleep. Mercedes, Maya's flatmate, has been waiting for them to express her displeasure with the noises emanating from Maya's side of the room. She claims it's all in good fun, but why is a 40-year-old laying next to you? She keeps teasing him as if he's been through war and is the loudest climaxer she's ever heard. Following the awkward greetings, Maya apologizes on Mercedes' behalf. Her flatmate was the girl who overdosed, so she's been through a lot. Dixon is presented with Schmidt and Jenko's findings. Jenko refuses to reveal anything about Zook's tattoo. Schmidt manages to mention being late last night and how fantastic it was. Dixon congratulates him and even gives him a high five. Later in the dorm, Schmidt questions Jenko about why he was so strange about the tattoo in the hideout. He adds Zook has the tattoo, and they begin arguing, with Jenko still defending Zook. The twins next door come into their room and urge them to cool down and hold off on the crunchy cheese since there's Wi-Fi in them. They made a batch for the entire dorm, and Schmidt has already eaten 6 of them. They emphasize that they will be extremely focused for the next 4 hours, followed by a difficult journey. The two get into character and decide to enter Zook's frat house as they elect new members. Schmidt climbs to the roof using a wire rope, while Jenko performs Parker. They successfully deploy the cameras and flee unseen. Zook and his gang capture them just as they are about to enter the dorm. They start tripping in the trunk, with Schmidt having a poor trip and Jenko having a good time. They are taken from the trunk at gunpoint, and while Schmidt pleads for his life, Zook and Rooster splatter them with vodka. It's their frat invitation. Jenko is in charge of everything, whereas Schmidt isn't. Schmidt flees when the pigs are brought out. Outside, Schmidt acknowledges he's not having fun, and Jenko advises looking into various people, which Schmidt rejects. Schmidt texts Jenko a few days later while he is working out and is ignored. Schmidt notices all of this and mopes, missing his best friend. It's parents' weekend the next day when Schmidt's parents arrive. He soon introduces them to Maya, who claims her parents are also present. Schmidt is surprised to learn that her father is Captain Dixon. When he inquires how she knows him, she replies that they are dating. His parents recommend that they sit together, which will be enjoyable. Dixon stares at Schmidt with a murderous expression on his face. Dixon goes to fetch some food to soothe his worries. When he realizes they are being rationed, he loses it and begins destroying the food table. Jenko discovers Wi-Fi in his suitcase while hanging out with Zook. Maya isn't sure what her father's problem is with Schmidt. She describes him as a perfectly fine guy who is honest and pleasant, while Dixon sends him messages. They ignore it and continue to chat till 8 a.m. Maya rushes to class, and Mercedes has been listening to everything all night. Schmidt, she laughs, has 99 issues, but being young isn't one of them. Schmidt learns from Mercedes that the girl who overdosed frequently visited a therapist on campus, so that's his lead and their next stop. They sneak into the cabinet, and Schmidt instructs Jenko to keep an eye on the door while he searches through the paperwork. Jenko fails and they are caught in the act. They pretend to have relationship issues, in the sense that they are homosexual, and have come to see the therapist. They use this session to discuss their issues. Schmidt, for example, claims that Jenko has become friends with Zook and no longer pays attention to him. Jenko accuses him of clinginess. During the session, Schmidt had an epiphany, What if the girl had not purchased Wi-Fi but was the dealer? Schmidt is dressed in Kevlar as they meet in Dixon's office. When the captain flips over a picture, Jenko swiftly realizes Schmidt is having an affair with his daughter and mocks him in front of the entire hideout. Dixon tastes Schmidt in the balls in revenge. Dixon advises them to alter their plan and locate the supplier. Schmidt apologizes to Jenko as they walk away for suspecting Zook because he isn't their guy. They decide to start by rummaging through the overdose girl's room, where they discover a book with the pages taken off. They realize that the supplier inserts Wi-Fi into the books, which the dealers borrow from the library. That's their next visit, but Jenko gets a call from Zook concerning the upcoming game, and he leaves Schmidt to handle it alone. Schmidt observes Ghost, the illegal commodities trafficker, at the library. He sends a message to Jenko, who reads it while playing and resolves to come help him. They meet and are soon detected. They initially pretend to be busy, but it doesn't work, and Jenko headbutts one of them. He informs Ghost that he and his crew are being arrested, but since they don't have guns, it doesn't go well either, so they flee, with Jenko jumping down like Spider-Man and Schmidt taking the stairs. They enter a helmet machine, while Ghost and his team follow in a jeep. They eventually make it to the football pitch and blow up their helmet machine, killing Ghost in the process. Schmidt is confronted by security and immediately admits that he is undercover, leaving Jenko behind so that he can fulfill his ambition of playing football with Zook. Schmidt leaves the door, and Maya is disappointed that Schmidt lied to her. Jenko remains at university with his new best buddy Zook, while Schmidt resumes his work as a park ranger. Schmidt learns about the case at lunch. The campus therapist has been arrested as the offender, and the case has been closed. Jenko and Zook only work out, and Jenko is getting tired of it. He attempts enjoyable activities with Schmidt, but it simply doesn't feel right. They are both unhappy and miss each other. They eventually meet in a park and both lie that they are doing better than before. They also concur that the cops apprehended the wrong individual. They agree to undertake a task for the sake of old times, and their informant tells Wi-Fi is in Mexico, so they go there. They get ready and go to the beach party, where they discover Wi-Fi being delivered. They pursue the money trail, which takes them to Mercedes. She's in a club with Ghost, who appears to be her father, and has devised a brilliant business strategy to take over all the universities with her Wi-Fi. Mercedes tries to play astonished when the duo storms the place, but she previously knew Schmidt was a cop, and they appear too old to be in college. The guns are drawn, but the duo is backed up by the full Jump Street team. A firefight erupts, with Ghost fleeing with the money and Dixon pursuing. Mercedes shoots Dixon in the foot and uses him as an escape hostage, as is Maya. Schmidt obtains a Lamborghini, while Jenko pursues Ghost. Schmidt pursues Mercedes, who is now on foot, and abandons Dixon. Meanwhile, Jenko has apprehended Ghost and is battling his thugs. He overpowers them with the help of a strange girl and makes out with her. Schmidt has apprehended Mercedes, but she only holds him hostage. When Dixon arrives to assist him, he chooses against taking the shot, and Maya knocks him out from behind. Jenko and Schmidt make their way up the stairs to catch up with Ghost. Schmidt observes one of Ghost's men taking a shot and jumps to shield Jenko, but is unsuccessful. Jenko takes out Wolverine and gets aboard the chopper, and Schmidt chooses to overcome his anxiety and join him. They fly over the shore, with Schmidt restraining Jenko as he searches for the grenade Schmidt has hidden in his shorts. They fall off just as he throws the grenade and says something amusing. The chopper explodes. Everyone cheers for them as they emerge from the water, and they confess their feelings of missing one another and make up. Please subscribe to assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again soon.